welcome back. I am Sue.
I'm Michael. We are a close-knit family. It is Thursday, July 25th. We do this every week, and I still don't know how to dive into it. Thanks, Jude, for adjusting the camera. Thursday, July 25th. This is Season 2, Episode 10. We are a knitcast from Armstrong in the North Okanagan region of British Columbia, Canada, following my adventures as a newer knitter and our ongoing yarn and knitting addiction.
Yes.
Yes.
True story.
Yes.
True story.
Alrighty.
So it's been a kind of wet summer for us so far, which honestly I'm kind of okay with.
I'm very okay with.
I don't do well in really warm weather, and I'm really glad that our area is getting lots of rain, and that because we've had a couple of really bad forest fire years.
Yeah.
So if things are able just to, I think of the stress that's on the forest. It's nice to get the
rain and
a little bit of the damp back.
And yeah, I haven't seen any water restrictions come into effect yet. So.
No. And we're going camping this weekend, and we're taking firewood.
Yeah. Saw the truck was full of firewood, and I was like, oh, we're actually using the truck as a truck.
Yeah. That entire thing, it's a smaller truck.
Yeah.
To be clear, I guess it's sort of a mid-size, but it's got the longer cab. And then there's a toolbox in the back.
Yeah.
But at any rate,
you filled the bed.
The bed is filled, and it was $30. Cheap like borscht.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was really good.
Yeah. It's about the lightning though. Robin, my beautiful girlfriend, is she doesn't like lightning. She doesn't like thunder, and so she's been a little bit stressy.
Not happy about that. Yeah, and now there are the lightning, because we have had a lot of lightning in the last week with not as much rain.
Yeah,
and so there are spot fires popping up around and about.
Alrighty.
But it's been like a day of warm, and then
it's all I would almost call it perfect.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, it's just if it's gonna be nasty, just go ahead and be nasty.
Yeah.
Be crappy weather. If it's gonna be warm, just do it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've yet to even feel like going to the beach.
Yeah. Robin keeps saying we need to go to the beach, and I just can't find time and energy. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm now thoroughly covered in cat hair.
What are you?
Yeah.
Holy crow, Jude. It's everywhere. So I guess I was just going to talk about a little thing that I came across the other day, and I thought this was fun. These are fun facts about knitting.
Fun facts about knitting, you say?
Fun facts about knitting.
Yes.
So knitting is centuries old.
It is centuries old. Where are you getting these facts?
Well, I can't remember, and this is a screenshot that I took. This is from the Knitting Space.
Yes, the URL says thenittingspace.com.
Yes, and so knitting, so knitting is centuries old, but because the knitting materials tend to degrade over time, it's hard to pinpoint exactly when it happened, but the first time the term knitting is used is in the 14th century.
Wow. Remember when we were doing the medieval reenactment and you did a little bit of the
null binding,
which led to modern knitting?
Well, yeah, it actually kind of comes up in the next fun fact.
Ooh.
But they also say that the Crusaders from the Middle East appear to have sort of brought knitting into, into Europe and so forth. So fun fact number two. A former type of knitting was done with just one needle.
One needle.
A crossover between knitting and crocheting. So that would be the null binding. And it was practiced by the ancient Egyptians.
Wow, that's old.
Ancient Egyptians, yeah. In the 16th factory.
16th factory, yes.
In the 16th century, France, knitting was an occupation for males only.
Was it?
And we've said it so many times, like when people are like, oh, only women do that, or it's a girly thing, or whatever. No, originally it was the men who did the knitting. And I think it was in Shetland where they have the knitting belts.
Yeah.
So they can kind of almost, I was going to say do hands-free knitting, but that doesn't make any sense.
Not quite true.
But anyway, the men, if they were out in the fields, like shepherding,
yeah,
they were knitting. The men would knit the bodies of the sweaters, and then the women would do the color work and knit the, yeah. So there you go.
I mean, it makes sense. You're out there with all those sheep anyway.
Yeah.
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 I'm covered in cat hair.
So, fun fact number 4.
Number 4.
The first knitting machine was invented in 1589.
1589?
And the man who came up with the idea was named William Lee.
Yeah.
And it was under Queen Elizabeth I that happened. And that's the point where knitting became a leisure activity.
Oh.
And was mostly performed inside the home and by hand.
And then it would be considered handiwork and would be for the ladies.
It was, a craft.
Yeah.
Because there was machinery that could do it faster. And then
that was number 4.
So in during World War I, women had a national duty to knit socks. It was your duty to knit socks.
Scarves and caps.
Okay, thank you for finishing reading that for me. And then, so many would send their items to their loved ones who were in the field, but there were many who also knit for all.
Yeah.
And did you know?
I did not.
That knitting can reduce the heart rate, blood pressure, and it relaxes. Well, we knew all of this.
Well, yeah, that we knew.
And it can also help the body fight illness better. And I mean, we've been saying that for ages, that knitting is like a nice therapy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Stop, just don't even worry about it. You've got Jude hair all over you, and that's just, and now she leaves.
Does anyone know how to spin cat hair?
Oh my Lord.
Oh my God.
Yeah, what happened there? I don't even know if that'll show up in the camera, but that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
In the beginning, cotton and silk were more popular than wool as knitting yarns. Which, considering they're saying it's coming in from the Middle East...
Okay, yeah.
That's not too surprising.
Yeah.
Gotta go the other way. We're down to 2 more. So, a book by Johann
Seidmacher.
Thank you. Was published in 1611 as the first documentation of no fewer than 126 knitting patterns.
That's a lot.
1611. And you may think that knitting needles should only be made of metal or wood. Oh, well, this is sort of obvious to me, but back in the days they were made from more exotic materials such as ivory, tortoise shell, or bones. Oh. But to me that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so there you go.
Couple of knitting
fun
facts.
Knitting facts
for you.
That I thought we might share and yeah.
And something I quickly scrolled down there as I was thinking about it, because it was like, there's something I wanted to talk about, and I can't remember, but I remember what it is now. So, at my, I guess, primary job,
yes,
they're doing a whole brand refresh thing, including refreshing our uniforms.
It's snowing Jude hair right now.
And they're trying to make it much more relaxed, trying to give the associates more room to express themselves in their uniform.
Okay. So
the uniform, or the line about black socks only, has been struck. As long as there are no visible trademarks.
Ooh.
So tomorrow is the day that actually goes into effect, and I work that day. So you bet your butt I'm wearing my rainbow socks.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah,
nice.
That's gonna be good. So I'll be expressing myself in my hand knit socks at work. And yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I just thought that was
Hand knitted.
hand knit.
Hand knit. It's a hand knit. They are hand knit socks. Yes, they're hand knit socks.
Yeah.
I knitted. No, I knit them. I don't think knit gets edited.
Yeah, knit is both the past and present tense.
Yeah.
And I guess also the future tense. I will knit.
Yeah. Well, I am knitting.
I am knitting, and I will knit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think knit did.
No, yeah, because I knit this today.
Yeah. I knitted this today. Although, you hear people say it.
Yeah.
But being grammar police, no, we're not.
No.
No, we're not. Fun fact, we are not grammar police.
No, we are not.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay, yeah, I just thought thought that was cool, so.
Nice. I'm sure I have other things to say too, but
It's one of those days.
it's one of those days.
Where
honestly, yeah, I'm like literally in between clients, and I was like, I'm coming home. We gotta record.
Yeah, you texted me 20 minutes ago and was like, I'm coming home for an hour. We're recording.
I need to eat. But I'm not eating in front of you. I'm gonna hang on for that for later.
I should have some lunch too. Anyway. Yeah. So that's all we had written down for chit chat. So it is time for Yarnquisitions. This has been Yarnquisitions.
You know, that's always an exciting part of the show.
Absolutely. It's a nice sort of Yarnquisitions. This has been Yarnquisitions.
It's relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no pressure. There's no. Yeah.
However, those.
So I finished it.
You finished it.
I finished it.
You finished it.
So.
Ooh.
I put the other arm on it, and I have finished the sweater that I have been designing with Juniper Moon Farms Santa Cruz yarn, coming to a yarn shop near you, fall of 2019. And I am so very, very happy with this. I'm going to be getting some professional shots taken soon. I guess not as soon as I thought, because I'm about to go away on vacation. But I will be getting it, putting it on a person and getting it professionally photographed. The things I like about this sweater, it is a seamless construction. It is, if somebody wanted to try color work who's never done it before, this is a super forgiving pattern because it's 2x2 color work.
Yep.
So there's no long floats. It's next to impossible to mix it up unless you do a 1x1, but you can tell pretty much right away.
Yep.
You just knit the color that you knit in the previous row.
Yep.
And it's very, very nice, like even on the inside.
Yeah.
It looks so nice.
Absolutely.
It is meant to be a shorter sweater, so not cropped per se, but to hit you about the top of your jeans.
Yeah, mid. I don't know if that's.
Well, to hit you about your waist.
Yeah.
Rather than above your waist, or something that you want hang down about hip length.
Yeah.
It's meant to hit you about hip length. Because the Juniper Moon Santa Cruz is a worsted weight. Anyway, if you've been following along, I've literally knit this twice by mistake.
Yeah.
And it knit really fast.
Yes.
Because it's a worsted weight. It's also an excellent color work yarn. Which again, I've showed you in previous episodes where I showed I had cut this section.
Yeah.
And I was saving it to reapply. And none of the stitches dropped.
Yeah.
And I wasn't being polite to it in between.
Yeah, the wool just grabs onto itself and hangs out.
But then once you've blocked it, it's so soft. Yeah. Like,
it is very soft.
There's no prick to it. Somebody I was knitting with was making another sweater out of Cascade 220.
Okay.
And at the same, which is very, very similar yarn.
Yeah.
This is 100% Peruvian, organic Peruvian wool. So it's not a superwash. And the Cascade 220, very, very similar yarn. And we just like held them side by side.
Yeah.
And this is, I couldn't understand why, but this, because the Cascade 220 is also 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's Peruvian as well. But this just felt softer, and I don't know.
It is very
I
soft.
don't know why, but there's no prick to it.
Very soft.
There's no prick to it. So it's very, very nice. So I designed it with a turtleneck, but a nice wide neck so that it's not a turtleneck. Yep. So it can be worn up.
Yep.
It can also be worn folded down. Or I also say in the pattern that if you want to, you can fold it to the inside and sew it down so that you've always got that mock turtle kind of thing going on. So yeah, color work is very simple. I did not change needle sizes to do my color work, but I did do my gauge swatches ahead of time in both stocking stitch and in the color work to make sure that they were going to work out okay.
Right.
This has a little bit of a wider sleeve going down. It's not an abrupt decrease going down. But I include in my pattern for if you wanted it more fitted coming down. Some people are like, this is probably going to be an outside fall kind of a sweater. So you might want to have like a warmer shirt underneath it possibly. So they like the idea of the wider sweaters. I've contacted a tech editor and we will be working on
tech editing
this. I am going to need test knitters.
Dun, dun, dun.
It also has a split hem, and again, at the knitter's option, if they wanted to, they can make the back longer, as some people choose to do. The things you are looking to need to be able to do, or find out, or you're going to need to learn the techniques, let me see. So, a provisional cast on. My personal preference would be to use a Judys Magic cast on, but a crocheted provisional cast on works just fine.
Provisional cast on.
Picking up stitches, German short rows. Okay, color work, but again, for someone who's never done color work, this honestly I think is like the perfect pattern for that. A looser binding off loosely, knitting in the round, knitting flat, purling, those kinds of things. This was knit on a 5mm needle in the round and flat, and it's based on the basket weaving from the African baskets that we typically see around here, sold by Big Blue Mama. And yeah, so there we go. Yes?
What is a provisional cast on?
Ah, what a good question, Mike. It's Good Question Mike Day. Okay, so a provisional cast on is it's a technique that you use when not only do you want to knit like in this direction, but eventually you also want to knit in this direction from the same starting point.
Okay.
So, or you want to have two things joined together, but you don't want a seam.
Okay. So,
Judys Magic Cast On is used for like doing toes in socks. So with Judys Magic Cast On, which I used here, you actually knit this, you do the cast on and then you knit in the round.
Yeah.
So, but you can't, like, there's no obvious seam where the cast on is.
Yeah.
It just looks like continuous knitting.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So when I use it in a sweater, I do the cast on. So you've got 2 sets of stitches on 2 holders.
Yeah.
Cords.
Yeah.
And then you only knit on one side, back and forth.
Oh.
And then when you come back to it later, you knit these because of the way the construction.
Okay.
Then you just pick up those stitches and start using them later instead of having to. With a regular provisional cast on, it's usually done with like a crochet hook, and so you've got like a crochet line, and you can just pull the crochet line out, and then you've got live stitches that you can run a needle through.
Oh, okay.
By doing Judys Magic Cast On, you don't have to do that step. They're just sitting there waiting.
Okay.
On a holder, ready to go. Yeah.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I mean, I know what a Judys Magic Cast On is and such. I just don't know how it applies to this.
Okay. Let me see if I can help a little bit. So, if you can hold up that side. So this, have I got the front or the back here? Okay, good, I've got the back. So my original cast on for this is like right on this row here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And I knit up here. Came up. Let's go down. I came up. I went over the shoulder.
Okay.
And come back down this side.
Oh.
Now at this point,
I
decide to join it in the round.
Okay.
So I knit across here.
Yeah. And then all the way around.
Cast on some stitches, and then keep knitting on the first side, which is the other half of the stitches that were held.
Oh. Okay, I get it.
Yeah?
I get it now.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's my sweater. I haven't given it a name yet, but if you would like to be a test knitter for that, I am working on grading it right now, and my mind is exploding.
Yeah.
But I'm getting more and more information that's going to help me, so I'm hoping I can get it graded while I am on vacation. And so when I get back, I might actually have something I can give to test knitters. Yeah, because I want it test knitted in different sizes. And there's going to be a very wide range of sizes. So if you're interested in test knitting it, let me know.
Okay, another question on Michael's Good Question Day.
Oh, okay.
What's grading?
What's grading? Good question, Mike. You're just a champion today.
Yay.
So grading, so I knit this sweater.
Yes.
And I knit it in this size.
Okay, yeah.
Now I need to figure out how many stitches someone needs to cast on to make another size.
Right.
And at the same time, I have to take into consideration the pattern repeat.
Yeah.
So it's one thing to say, okay, well, I just need an extra stitch here or there.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily work.
No.
So anyway, so it's figuring out how many decreases are being made, how many increases are being made, how often, where do they start, where do they end, so that it'll fit more than just this
size. Okay.
This is a very, very simple sweater. This is not a complicated, it's not a complicated sweater. This, I would, well, okay, there are some techniques that are a little bit advanced, so it's probably an intermediate.
Okay.
Probably an intermediate sweater.
Okay.
But for the most part, it's dead simple. There's just a few techniques that are a little bit different.
Okay.
Okay, anything else?
Nope.
Nope.
Not for me.
Okay.
So, it's now time for whips!
Whips!
I haven't worked on any of my knitting in the last week.
I was just going to ask you, are you going to own up to that right away?
I'm going to own up to that right away. I did not work on any of my knitting
and that's
last
okay.
week.
Sometimes knit happens and sometimes it doesn't. There's been, yeah, whatever.
A lot of things.
So I started knitting a new pattern.
Ooh.
So this is still based on the Big Blue Mama baskets, and I'm still using Juniper Moon's Santa Cruz worsted 100% organic Peruvian yarn. So and they gave me yarn support for doing patterns, and so, but beyond that, I'm not sponsored by them.
Yeah.
So this is just the beginning of a glove with, or pardon me, not glove, mitt with flip top and flip thumb.
Decent.
Yeah, and so that's, yeah, more or less what it would look like. I'm not super happy with this, so this could change dramatically. It could get pulled out, but one of my coworkers said she really liked it.
I think it's cool.
So I may like just finish it for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do that the easy way. Anyway, so I want it to have a fairly long, come down the wrist, fair ways, and then it'll come up to about here, and then it'll have a flip cap.
Okay.
Over top.
Okay.
So that's the beginnings of that. Again, based on the African baskets.
Okay. It's cool.
Yeah. So there's that.
There's that.
That was a new whip.
Yes. Socks.
Socks. We talked about their toes a minute ago. So these are the socks I've been knitting for my husband.
Yep.
And when we last met, I was working on the heel turn on one of them, and now I have completed that, and I'm knitting up the cuff. So I don't know, I was like here somewhere. So completed the heel turn, completed the heel flap on both socks, and I'm knitting up the cuff, and I'm doing a lot of ribbing at the top so that the sock stays up.
Right.
Yeah. And so I've probably actually got about 2 more inches of ribbing to do on this.
Okay.
And I'm doing a 2x2 rib for the cuff.
Okay. I
am using Poppy Yarns Merino Yak Nylon in their Geronimo base. I remembered. I am knitting 2 at a time on 2.5mm needles, and this is just my personal how I knit socks pattern.
Yeah.
Toe up.
Because mom told me so pattern.
It's my favorite way to knit socks. They fit nicely, and it just works. What I thought was cool though, and I don't remember if we talked about this last time. Stop me if we did.
I don't think so.
But so I had talked before about the way the pooling was going, and we were getting a spiral.
Yeah.
Around the sock. So when I started increasing for the gusset, it pulled a U-turn on itself.
Oh!
So it came back here, and then it got just sort of, all mixed up because I'm doing more stitches, so it's not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
You can kind of see a little bit.
It's trying, yeah.
And then when I get back to like basically the same number of stitches again,
it's spiraling.
And of course, that's only to be expected. But I love, and they both did it. They both U-turned. I wasn't expecting a U-turn.
No.
So let me see here. Oh, right, on the bottom part.
Lloyd's U-turn.
So there we go. We've got, this one's a tighter spiral.
Yeah.
And then there's the U-turn. And it goes back the other way. So yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And that's just by adding, that would, at that point it was probably, it started after I added 2. It really U-turned around 6 stitches added, and then sent it in the other direction. I thought that was funny. Anyway, so My husband's socks.
Yay!
These will be finished. These will be a faux.
Yay!
She said, hopefully.
Hopefully.
For now, because I'm going to be doing knitting for 10 days.
Which means you're probably going to get an episode of just me.
Ooh, you might want to knit.
I might want to knit something. Well, okay, so Robin's been getting into Dungeons and Dragons, and I gave her the one dice bag I knit out of Noro yarn that I wasn't using. The problem is it doesn't have a cord to actually tie it off, so I have to make a cord for that.
Cool.
So, yeah.
You need to do that.
I need to do that. Probably just going to do an I-cord.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Tell her to braid something. And so this, again, this is an oldie but a goodie because I finished that sweater, so I was just sort of picking up stuff I didn't really have to think about because I haven't been actually knitting that much.
Yeah.
Because I've been trying to grade this pattern and my mind's been exploding. So I want to pick up something I don't have to think about. So this is the part of the blanket that I have been working on.
Yeah.
I have done, I don't know, probably a couple inches up at the top here since last time. And so for those of you who don't know, what I'm doing is I'm knitting, I'm probably going to have 2 panels of about the same width, and then the length I'll decide, it'll probably be a lap blanket.
Yeah. I
am holding leftover sock yarn.
Holding it.
Triple.
Yeah.
And sorry, one of them fell off. Okay.
It's just that right there.
Yeah, it is. I wanted to get it. So right now I am working with, I'm trying to remember. I can't remember whose yarn this is. But so I've got this variegated sock yarn that was left over from a cowl that I made. That would be the tilted cowl. It's one that I gave away, so you're not going to see it here. This is also a single sock yarn in just a nice cream color.
Yep.
This is Color Adventures yarn, and it's a single ply. Do you know what a single ply is? This one is also a single ply.
It only has one strand.
Yeah. So yeah, single ply. You can't see that. There's no twisting going on.
Yeah.
And I got to get around here now because this one fell off the front of the table.
You're stuck with me for a second.
I've also got this purple, beautiful, rich purple.
Oh, it's a very nice purple.
It's a bit tonal. This is also a Color Adventures yarn.
Yeah.
And except this one is plied.
Okay.
It's not a single. So those are the 3 that I'm currently holding double. And essentially all I'm doing is I'm knitting with these 3 until one of them runs out. And when that one runs out, I'm reaching into my bag of leftover sock yarn, putting a new color in and carry on. And then another one runs out and grab a color and put it in, and away we go. I wasn't expecting it to be quite so stripy. No, but it's still, when you see it up close, it's still, I don't know how to explain it. It does fade, like it's a gentle switch from color to color. Yeah. It's not, well there, yeah, you can see it's a gentle switch. It is stripy. Yeah, but that's kind of... But it's a gentle switch from color to color. Yeah. So, yeah, anyway, this is like, I think, gonna maybe be my all-time favorite thing I've ever knit. It's so soft, because it's all this merino yarn, right? It's heavy. Yeah. Like, this is a blanket with some weight to it. Yeah. And it's just garter stitch. got this idea from Hohi Locatelli, and yeah, I'm just using up I had all this beautiful yarn.
Yeah.
From indie dyers, and it's like I don't want to just like get rid of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could donate it, I could do all of those things, but this is gorgeous yarn.
Yeah.
So I wanted to come up with something to do with it, and there, you can keep picking at that. And this is what I chose to do. Oh, and this is my 2 sticks new bag.
Yep.
That I'm using there. So I think that's everything I was working on this week.
Okay.
I wanted to pick up my Hearten sweater by Kim Hargreaves, but I'm gonna run out of yarn.
Oh no!
And so I thought I had a line on it, and I thought it was getting ordered in for me. It's a discontinued yarn, and it's looking like maybe that's not going to happen. So I might have to pull it out.
That's unfortunate.
But anyway, that's how it goes. Okay, so Mike.
Hi.
What do you bring to the table?
What do I bring to the table? Oh, it's my turn to talk. What I bring to the table today is a game that I don't own, but I've heard very good things about it. In fact, it is currently the #1 rated family game on BoardGameGeek.com.
Oh!
It is a game called Wingspan. Wingspan is a engine building card game. So I've only heard it described to me, but it sounds like you have and it's all themed after birds.
Okay.
And you have these beautifully illustrated cards with different bird species and little bits of bird facts on them, and you know where you can find them. This would be a great game to purchase for any of your bird enthusiast friends. I think we know at least one person who could probably appreciate the birds in this game.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, it's an engine builder. So you put cards... Again, I've only heard this vaguely described to me. You put cards together to combine, hopefully, all of their effects to let you have more cards and more points, so you can throw more cards into this engine to keep getting you more cards and more points.
Oh, so kind of like that, what was the... Dominion.
Yeah, Dominion. Dominion is a deck builder. But, so, all your cards are available to you. So, in Dominion, you have a deck that you're working through.
Right.
In Wingspan, all of your cards are laid out in front of you, and they're all in play.
Okay. Okay, but you're trying to... Yeah.
And I would also rate it as the game that I am most likely to confuse one of the components for mini eggs and eat them.
Ooh.
Because it has little eggs that feed into your engine, and they look a heck of a lot like mini eggs.
So you can maybe play with mini eggs.
You can maybe play with mini eggs. But the main reason I bring this up is it's a really good family game, but it's also a really good onboarding game. It's a good way to introduce people to the hobby of board gaming and show them that board gaming is not all Monopoly, Risk, Clue. I
mean, seriously, when you say board game, honestly,
Scrabble.
When you say board game, the first thing anyone thinks of is Monopoly.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I don't, yeah.
Yeah. And, but this is a great game to introduce people to the hobby at large. And for that reason, it certainly deserves a recommendation. Board Game Geek lists Wingspan as appropriate for between 1 and 5 players, but the community there has voted that it is best with 3 players. It takes between 40 and 70 minutes to play, appropriate for ages 10 plus. Yeah.
Cool.
Has a complexity rating of 2.3 out of 5, which I think is about where things like Catan sit.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Neat. Now, Wingspan, when you wrote that down, you told me to write that down. Very confused. That immediately made me think of I'm waiting for my yarn from the Blue Brick.
Okay.
To knit Wingspan.
Right, there's a pattern called Wingspan.
So, yeah, and I appreciate that I mean, she got just slammed because that pattern went viral and the yarn from Blue Brick went viral, and she's been doing everything she can to catch up.
Right. But...
And she's been very good about letting people know, like, this is what's happening. This is where we're at. You know, I'm still dyeing every day, and, you know, I'm trying to catch up, and we're into a bigger space, and I'm going to be able to dye more. And, and it's been super good that she's been keeping everybody abreast of what's going on. Yeah. I know there have been some people who have not been particularly kind about the weight, and, you know, I get it, right? They've put in their money. Yeah. They want their product, and she's also being very graciously, you know, right? Yeah. If it's a problem, I'll send you back your money. Yeah. But it's like, I really want that yarn. Yeah. I'm willing to wait. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And now it's time for events from around the world. Okay, so last week I totally dropped the ball. Yeah, but... because I didn't feel like it, and I hope you understand. Yeah. That was a whole nother thing. Yeah. And this week I'm kind of dropping the ball again. Oh, no. Because, as I said, I am literally in between clients. Yeah. And so we just sort of had to get this done. Yeah. But I do have details about an event. Okay. Which is a little bit more local to us. Okay. And so it's a fall knitting retreat being put on by Riverstone Yarns. Ooh. It will be running October 19th and 20th. Okay. At Ainsworth Hot Springs, which is in the Kootenays, which is a place that we visited on our last camping trip. And
that's the one with the cave, right?
That's the one with the cave.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
It's, so the hot springs are beautiful. Yes. And it's a beautiful location. So and what I like about how she's done this is there is a fee for the retreat, and there are classes and there's stuff every day. And there is a buffet lunch that's included in the fee. And then beyond that, you can make your own arrangements to suit your budget, your lifestyle, like whatever. So you can choose to stay at the hotel at the hot springs. You can choose to eat in the hotel restaurant. You can go and find food somewhere else. There are like options around for you know, camping and RVing and stuff. I mean, October 19th and 20th, it's going to be on the cooler side. I don't think straight out camping is going to be an option, but you can choose what kind of room you stay in if you want to stay at the hotel, and just what amenities, because there is a spa there, and if you're staying there as a hotel guest, you have free access to the hot springs, and I just think that's a really neat way to do it. So if people are local, they can come in every day and not have to pay for accommodation. Yeah.
That's good. And
I think it's a super, super neat way to do that. So anyway, if you want to get registered for that, it's Riverstone Yarns on their website. She has all the information. Okay. My notes didn't make sense there for half a sec. So it's October 19th and 20th, 2019. And I would really like to go. Yeah. I'm only struggling with that because I'm going to Knit City right before that. And then I'm paying for some classes with Arna and Carlos immediately after Knit City. Yeah. And so then to go and,
Ainsworth is a really nice hot spring.
It is. It's very, it's clean and
I keep talking about the cave because one of the pools attaches onto a cave a really big cave.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's shaped like a horseshoe. Yeah. So you probably go back, I'm thinking about 100 feet. Yeah. And then it's got and and it's about this deep.
Yeah,
About this deep. So I'm going to say like 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet deep. So you can kind of float through it if you want, or you can just walk through it.
Yeah, and there's a little chamber at the back, and you just sit down there, and it's just...
There's some little sort of grottos where the actual water is running in. I'm pretty sure it's a man-made cave, but it's still really cool.
Yeah.
It's really neat, and it's hot in there. That was my biggest problem being in there, was that the air was so hot.
Yeah.
That, it was like, okay, I kind of need to get out because
the air is
so hot.
But
they have a nice icy plunge pool, and then they've got the pool.
Yeah.
That is a more moderate temperature.
Yeah.
It's not a swimming pool.
No,
it's still
it's
warm,
a hot spring. Yeah.
But it's sort of somewhere you can kind of sit and soak and yeah. So anyway, that sounded like lots of fun. And I think that is all we have for today. So I'll be missing next week.
Okay.
Mike may do something for you.
I'll try to get something together at least. And
if he doesn't, we'll see in a couple weeks.
Yep.
But I'm hoping I'm going to pull out. I think I'm going to take one of my new projects with me and see if I can't get it knitted and finished. So you may never get to see it as a whip.
Ooh.
But you've seen it in Yarn Inquisitions.
Okay.
Just a while ago.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Really helps us out here on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Close Knit Family Knitcast. Join us on Ravelry. All the information for that will be on the end card and in the description. And as always, keep your knitting close and your family closer. Bye.